The engagement of Prince Harry to Meghan Markle dominates the front pages of newspapers in the UK, and it's big news in the United States too. Dedicated royal watchers braved the cold outside Kensington Palace to share their joy at the announcement.
Well, it's a happy occasion, isn't it? And I think we deserve that. It cheers everybody up, cheers the whole country up. And Americans, I'm sure, will be over the moon. The fact that one of their girls is marrying into our royal family, that's wonderful, isn't it?
And across the Atlantic, there's been excitement as well as some philosophical analysis.
I have a tendency to think the royal family is very antiquated and I think very old school, and Prince Harry has really defied that in a lot of ways, and I think that this is one of the ultimate ways. This is something that I can't imagine his family is necessarily completely bought into, but as the son of Princess Diana, who is this dynamic figure, I think it's a really amazing way to kind of honor her legacy.
This multinationalism is very, very important because it shows that the world is more of a whole thing where you have to include everybody.
At New York's British-themed shop and restaurant Tea and Sympathy, it's a chance to reflect on how the royal family is modernising.
That wouldn't have happened 50 years ago. It wouldn't. Divorced, black, American, no. So times are changing, Mr. Trump.
A chance for the whole world to be part of a very British institution.
Will Germany have a new government by the end of this year? Headline speculators, a top official close to Chancellor Angela Merkel, said talks on forming a coalition may not start until 2018. In a speech at the CDU conference, Merkel said party members must evaluate talks with Social Democrats.
Natürlich stehen wir zu Gesprächen bereit.
She said the CDU is prepared to talk, but made clear that talks will only go ahead if there is a willingness from both sides.
Das muss klar sein.
Merkel's fourth term was thrown into doubt last week after three-way coalition talks with the Free Democrats and Greens collapsed, prolonging uncertainty in Germany. Merkel's previous coalition partners, the SPD, had vowed to go into opposition after the party's worst election result since the Second World War, but have since signalled a potential end to the deadlock by agreeing to discuss propping up her government in another grand coalition.
Donald Trump has caused another stir by taking a pop at a political rival during a ceremony to honor Native American war veterans. The US president repeated a racial jibe about Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren, whom he's often derisively dismissed as Pocahontas.
Give you my speech. You're very, very special people. You were here long before any of us were here. Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
During his election campaign, Trump repeatedly targeted Warren over her claim to have Cherokee ancestry. The senator seems to be taking it in her stride.
It is deeply unfortunate that the President of the United States cannot even make it through a ceremony honoring these heroes without having to throw out a racial slur.
Festivities under heightened security. Berlin's Christmas market is to reopen almost a year after a truck attack killed 12 people and injured dozens more. The atrocity is still on the minds of many, but Berliners and vendors are determined to return. This stall owner says the attack affected us all deeply, but we were taken care of and we're back this year. We're here to make people happy. We're really excited and we won't be intimidated. This year, decorations and lights are accompanied by concrete barriers and an increased police presence. And Germany's Interior Minister has urged Germans not to stay away from Christmas markets out of fear, but to remain alert.
Carrying candles and flags, dozens of journalists came to remember the victims of Egypt's recent terrorist attack. The assault on the Al-Rawda Mosque in northern Sinai killed 305 people, the worst terrorist attack in the country's modern history. This is a symbolic message we want to send to the Egyptian people, that we are united against terrorism and will keep rallying and supporting our armed forces in the fight against terrorism. Survivors say attackers carried the flag of the so-called Islamic State. The government has increased security at places of worship and called for 3 days of national mourning. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang is in Budapest meeting with leaders of the 16 Central and Eastern European countries. On the agenda at the 6th annual 16+1 summit, China's new Silk Road initiative to expand trade across Asia, Africa and Europe. We need external sources, both technical and financial, in order to improve this region. The European sources are just not sufficient, so we welcome the idea of a new economic world order, as China wants to get involved in the region's development process. The 17 leaders are set to sign 23 cooperation agreements during the summit.
Thank you, my ladies and gentlemen.
In the next 5 years, China wants to import $5 trillion worth of goods. During the same period, our investments will reach $700 billion. Leaders will discuss how to promote cooperation in areas including trade and investment, finance and technology.
Lebanon's Prime Minister has called on Hezbollah to stay out of regional conflicts to help bring an end to the country's political crisis. Speaking to French broadcaster CNews, Saad al-Hariri said the political and militant group must stop interfering in regional conflicts and accept the government's neutral policy. Lebanon can't settle a matter like Hezbollah, which is a regional matter, because Hezbollah is in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, everywhere, and it's because of Iran. We need to reach a regional political solution, he added. The future of Hariri's government is in doubt, although he went back on his shock decision to resign last week. Hariri made clear he's open to modifying his government before elections next year, and added that consultations this week with Hezbollah have ended positively.
A month ago, it was hailed as an historic breakthrough, the signing of a reconciliation deal in Cairo between rival Palestinian factions, Hamas and Fatah. But now Hamas, which controls Gaza, has said it will not give up its weapons. Describing the handing over of its arms as a red line, one of the movement's senior officials on Monday vowed to launch attacks against Israel from the West Bank. Halil Al-Hayya said, "These weapons will not be touched, it's not up for debate. These weapons will move to the West Bank to battle the occupation there. It's our right to fight the occupation until it ends. The arsenal of resistance in Gaza? This arsenal is a source of power for all Palestinians." Under the reconciliation deal, the West Bank-based Palestinian authorities due to take full control of Gaza and its border crossings from Hamas this Friday.
Televidente, después de nos informe ng international, vamos pong korte komersyal. Para nos tabek, et deporte con nos colega Carl Reiter.
The engagement of Prince Harry to Meghan Markle.
Chata di casualidad malanta para